Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 107.5 FM WSFD-LP Westfield.
Support for the community programming is provided by the Dunkin' Donut shops of Westfield and the Sardina family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday where you are. It's June 23rd, 2026. In the background, Vivaldi, Summer. Yes, summer has sprung. Is that the correct? Oh, spring has sprung. What does summer do? I don't know. Peter Coles in the Kitten of the Keys, Duke of the Downs, tell me, what does summer do? If spring springs, what does summer do? Summer slumbers, summer...
Soars in? I don't know.
No, soars in. Summer's got to rhyme with some. There must be a
This
summer
is what I
bummers.
associate with summer.
What do you... This is... What is that?
It's from an old British TV show called Ground Force.
It sounds like a bee thing. Or
It is. It's called Hornet's Nest.
Oh, it's fabulous. Oh, my God, I love it. I like it more than the Vivaldi. Leave that on in the background.
All right.
Hey, happy summer. It came in yesterday like a, well...
It was nice yesterday.
It was like spring. It came in like spring.
Yeah, yes.
When are we going to then? It's going to probably descend into the hot weather. When does that happen? It seems like we go from spring.
July usually. So we did summer for a little while. It was hot as heck for about a week or two ago, and then we went to warm and dry.
Yeah. My poor flowers in my on the porch outside our house were kind of like drooping and dying, and I had to go out there and water them. So every day that it rains a little, I go, really? Oh, great. I don't have to get out there and water those plants, you know. But how about you? Do you have plants to water at that mansion that you live on the hill?
Yeah, okay. Yes, my wife has some plants. We're going to work on... We're doing some above-ground planters this year, and then we want to do a garden next year.
Gosh, oh my gosh. Well,
we may need these guys. We may need the ground force. I don't know if they're still alive or not.
The ground force. Now, who are those?
It was one of the original kind of home improvement shows back in the 90s or 2000s.
Oh, really?
In Great Britain. It was a BBC show, and it had the host, it had a builder, it had like a arborist, botanist type person.
Oh,
and they went in and redid people's backyards.
Oh, backyards. Okay. It sounds like This Old House, or that. No, there was another one that did the
before
front.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, you're really connected to BBC television there.
I used to love
Britain.
BBC America back then.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah.
Before it became all Americanized.
Oh, isn't that the truth? Oh my gosh.
It's like, hey, we like British programming. Now they make you pay for it. You have to buy BritBox or something.
I do. I have BritBox.
You should look up the show Ground Force, and you will laugh your ass off.
Now the houses, there's not much.
They're like people's backyards.
Gotcha.
Like common people.
This is good.
They applied to be on the show.
Yeah.
And they redid their backyards.
God, I wish somebody could. No, my backyard is fine, except.
But they would do like a water feature.
Oh, I love that.
Or a trestle or pergola. You know, they would just remake the end. They'd strip it down to dirt and relay out the whole thing. It's like a whole renovation makeover thing.
Oh, interesting! Wow, I'd love to watch something that I don't have to do. If somebody comes in, we applied once to that show. We applied to This Old House to have them come in and redo our old house, our 1780, 1760 house, whatever it is. But they didn't respond. And I think you have to have the money to do most of it. You get perks. But for the most part, you're paying as well for that. And
yeah, they probably do the design expertise and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I thought that I had an in since the host is from Holy Cross. That red-haired young man. He's now 45 or something. He was from Holy Cross. He graduated from Holy Cross. So I thought, maybe I can use my alma mater to get into and have the house done over before. But now our house is all done over. I don't think they're. Well, James wants to do a stone pebbles not sidewalk. What do you call it? Driveway. And I just think we probably. I think it's. No, we're not going to do it. But it's
okay.
it's on the list of things. That's the final thing, other than a water feature in the backyard, which I don't think at this late date we need very much. I would much
Have
rather
you talked to
take
Mr.
a trip.
Sperry?
No, you mean they'll come in and do it for me?
I don't
At
see
that
why-
horticultural people.
Potentially, yeah. Wouldn't hurt to ask. You'd have to set it up in the fall for next construction
Yes,
season.
of course. I'm going to talk to Nate. We'll see. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Hey, I had a great week. I was down in Boston for all the wonderful excitement of
honored.
the FIFA. I was honored. Yes, me and 103 other people were honored with. I was really honored and proud of Westfield. Not for me, but for the fact that we are a welcoming and wonderful society here in our town. The legislature decided to have its first annual Pride Awards, Commonwealth Pride Awards. So 103 leaders from across the state in all areas were honored with on the State House floor, and they gave speeches and they had a reception for us and stuff. It was really kind of wonderful in its own way. And I looked around and I knew 3 or 4 of the folks being honored. And on top of everything else, one of the people that I'm honoring, I think it's next week,
Okay.
Su Wong, her name is. She's one of the Pride honorees, and she owns this great company, and her wife is the chancellor of UMass Lowell. And
Okay.
so both of them are 2 of my honorees next week. And there she is sitting there being honored with me. So, I walked right over. I had pictures taken and all that sort of stuff. It was a beautiful day, number one. And the State House couldn't have been more welcoming. And, they have this LGBTQIA plus caucus made up of LGBTQIA plus folks who are in the legislature.
Yeah, that.
That. And so many of them spoke, including I think the Speaker of the Senate, maybe I've got it wrong, but whoever it is, she's
The
the
president of the Senate.
president of the Senate. Oh, yeah, that might be it. Is the president?
I believe she's lesbian. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a lesbian
Yeah.
woman, and she made this wonderful thing. She said, "You know, my mother, when she came out when she was very young, or let people in, as I'm now want to say, rather than coming out. You let others in into your private life." When she let her mother in, the mother said something about, "Oh, I always knew that you were one of the gays," and she kept calling the group of all of us, the gays. So at the end of the thing, she said, "Here's to all the gays out there," and whatever. It was lovely. Then afterward, we walked down the hill because Jessica Martin said, I don't know if you remember on the show, or was it on my show when she was here a couple of weeks ago, or maybe off screen, she said to me, "Bob, you've got to go to my friend's restaurant in Boston. He owns 4 restaurants right on Charles Street, right close to the State House."
Yep.
And
I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we ended up walking down over the hill down to Charles Street, and there is this great restaurant. Now, the only one open was Willie's. Okay, so there are Zeitarian and 2 others or whatever, all on Charles Street. But Willie's was open for lunch, and it's a pizza, salad, wonderful place. And so we had a wonderful seat outside on the street. It was a gorgeous day.
Sure.
And at the end of the meal, the young woman, Jen, that was the host of the day, came over and said, "Congratulations, Bob." And I said, how did you know? And she said, "Wait a minute. I know that you won the award at the State House, and I know everything, and I want to show you this card from Jessica. Everything has been paid for. Jessica Martin."
Oh, that's very sweet of her.
Oh, my God. It was so lovely, lovely, lovely. And on top of everything else, we're sitting there, and I'm sitting at a table. We were very close to one another because you know how they it's like a corral on the street,
Yeah.
So there was women, a couple of lovely women on my left, and on my right was a couple. They were from Texas, of all places, Houston. Mm-hmm. It was an oil man. And James said, "Did you see the rock on that woman's finger? Oh, my God." So, and the guy was very, very young. So they proceed to tell me how they were at 2 feet from the president when he was at the Knicks game, the game that the Knicks lost.
Yep.
They were, the night before, they had been at Fenway. They're going all over the country. They're doing all of these things. And I thought to myself, my God, that young man must have a ton of money. Well, we had a lovely conversation, but everyone could not, they were all surrounding me with all of this love. And I thought to myself, oh God, I love this. I really love it. So I'm really, I thank Kelly Pease, and I thank the Eric McDowell, who wrote the nomination for me. And there is, I think, if you go online to the State House, there are all of the different people that were
award winners?
honored, award winners. And I must give a shout out to Jeffrey Burgos, who is the right-hand people to the city council in Holyoke. He was honored. And Clay Pearson from Northampton was honored. And Clay goes everywhere in spangles. So he was all decked out in spangles. The rest of us looked like we had, just come in off the street or whatever. But he was all decked out. But Clay and my friend Stan McCoy, Joe McCoy from East Hampton, Stan McCoy was honored. So it was kind of nice to be around friends and new friends. I found some folks from Sharon, Massachusetts, who are trying to set up a Westfield Pride, a Pride organization. So I'm going to meet with them. And Westfield Pride is always happy to help out. Westfield Pride, incidentally, everyone, is separate from Westfield on weekends. I want everyone to know that because we're two separate organizations. I just happen to be involved with both for my own persuasion or whatever. But there you go. So thank you to everyone that made that honor possible.
I got to attend a nice little
what did you do?
Music festival down in New Hartford, Connecticut. On the property, basically, where Ovation Guitars used to have their factory.
Oh, gosh.
And it was called River Rocks. It was on the Farmington River.
Uh-huh. Oh, my God. Beautiful.
They had an acoustic set up down right on the river.
Yeah.
And they had a main stage up top. And they had food vendors and craft vendors and town departments, that kind of stuff. And it was a nice little Saturday out.
Wild.
And then Sunday I got to spend some time with my son and his girlfriend.
Oh, happy Father's Day, incidentally, all the fathers out there.
We spent the afternoon at Skyline, overlooking the tobacco fields.
Ah, did you go outside in the back?
Oh, yeah, we were in the patio, yeah.
Oh, the patio is so
had a
great.
good time.
Yeah. That patio is, for me, it will always bring back the memories when we first moved here more than 2 decades ago from New York City. I was trying...
that didn't exist back then, but...
Oh, no, it was back there. Oh, yeah.
Well, there was an area, but...
Fowler Farms.
Right. The building was there, but the patio itself was not.
Well...
That was not constructed until 2021.
2020? No.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you because
there was a dirt area back there.
Yeah,
but it wasn't a patio.
There were tables. There were some tables, and I would go to Fowler. The Fowlers, they had a little area where you could buy a sandwich and get some coffee. I would bring that, and I would sit there, and I would study for the social work exam that I needed to take in order to get my license in Massachusetts to practice social work as a therapist. And so week after week, day after day, I was in the back there, and now it has been totally done over, right?
It's
and
beautiful
it's
back
really
there.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Skyline
Brewing Company.
Brewing Company. I was going to call it Skyline Pretzels, but they do have wonderful
That's
pretzels.
a lot more than that, but
Oh,
yeah.
my God, yes. Absolutely.
By the way, your guests are here.
Oh, wonderful. So let's take
a break?
Let's take a break. Hey, I watched the wonderful movie last night, A Complete Unknown. I started to watch it when it first came out, but I didn't get to see this great movie with Timothée Chalamet as the wonderful Bob Dylan and Elle Fanning as Joan Baez. And, I got to thinking, geez, I got to really go back and see some of the original stuff, because in the movie, Joan and, of course, they're lovers and etc., but they sing "Don't Think Twice, That's All Right," and so I found the original. No, and then I decided, yeah, I'm going to find the original. So I found the original. This is Joan Baez, "Don't Think Twice." I love her voice, and this is really great.
It ain't no use to sit and wonder why. Don't matter anyhow. When the rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm traveling on, but don't think twice, it's all right. Turning on your light, babe, the light I never know. And it ain't no use in turning on your light. I'm on the dark side of the road. Still I wish there was something you could do or say, make me wanna change my mind and stay. We never did too much talking anyway. But don't think twice, it's alright. And it ain't no use in calling out my name, babe, like you never did before. And it ain't no use in calling out my name. I can't hear you anymore. I'm thinking and wondering all the way down the road. I once loved a woman, a child I'm told. I give her my heart and she wanted my soul. But don't think twice, it's alright. And I'm going down that long, lonesome road, babe, where I'm bound, I can't tell. But goodbye is too good a word, babe. So I'll just say fare thee well. I ain't saying you treated me unkind. Could have done better, but I don't mind. You just kind of wasted my precious time. But don't think twice, it's alright.
Support for community radio provided by Westfield Electroplating. Employing over 140 skilled platers, painters, and technicians, Westfield Electroplating was founded in 1946 and was the first company in the country to achieve National Aerospace and Defense Contractor Program accreditation, proudly maintaining that status for over a decade. Westfield Electroplating provides over 50 quality finishes to meet your corrosion, cosmetic, or performance needs. On the web at www.westfieldplating.com or 413-568-3716. Westfield Electroplating, putting the finishing touches on technology.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
107.5 FM WSFD. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 107.5 FM WSFD-LP Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday where you are. June, what the heck day is it? 23rd, right? Yeah. And the clouds behind me will probably be there tomorrow. As everyone knows, we tape the day before we broadcast. And you see two lovely people on the screen right here. And I welcome them. There's Marianne Scolamilio. Did I get it right, Marianne?
Almost.
I never get it right. Would you say the last name? I'm gonna marry you, so I could just. I can marry you. I'm married already.
You're already taken.
Say the word. Say your last name again.
Scognamiglio.
Scoglamiglio.
There you go.
Skog. I always say skog.
I know. You're trying to be an Italian.
Yeah. So what? So it's not Italian?
Oh, it is.
Oh, okay. Scoglamiglio. Don Lesser, are you Italian?
I am not. No.
No.
half Romanian and half Russian.
Half Romanian and half Russian. Wow, fabulous. This is Don Lesser, everyone. And Don Lesser is an author, and Marianne Scoglamiglio is, yes, he's holding up the book Crystal Swings, but Marianne is the president of Straw Dogs Writers Guild. And we're kicking off a great weekend in Westfield this week. On Thursday night, because on Thursday night we have our Writers Out Loud guest lecture series with the man who's on the screen here, Don Lesser, and co-sponsored by the Straw Dogs Writers Guild. That's at Thursday night. Then on Friday night is the beginning of Downtown Live, our concerts at Elm Street Plaza, and they are located, it's located right there on Elm Street, and we have Artworks Westfield has the 413s, the Fabulous 413s. They're not called the Fabulous 413s. Fabulous 413 is a show. The 413s are going to be there on Friday night. Saturday, the last closing reception for the wonderful, the very much loved Magic in the Garden show at Westfield on weekends at 105 Elm Street. And so from 2 to 4 in the afternoon is our closing reception for that with the artists. And then at night, you go to dinner in the area down there, okay, all the wonderful restaurants, and then you come back for 6 o'clock, and you can dance under the stars with the Small Planet Dancers, and that's on the Elm Street Plaza Green, dancing under the stars. And then on Sunday, we have Don Blanton, our wonderful artist in residence, who's doing a fabulous big painting for our next show at Westfield End Weekends, which will open in mid-July. It's called Old MacDonald's Farm. Enough of the commercial. Yeah. But the Thursday night opening has this young man beside me, and Marianne will be there, and I'll be there to hear all about your life as a writer, Don. Don, where are you from?
Originally, I'm from New York City, in Queens.
Queens, New York.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And did you stay down there, or did you move out from Queens?
Oh, no, I went away to school in Buffalo when I was 17, and then moved to Cambridge and never really went back to New York.
Wild. Well, we have a connection. Buffalo is one of my all-time. I was going to teach school in Buffalo. Where were you? Where'd you go? UB?
I went to UB, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
It's on Englewood and then off of Fillmore.
Yes, I know it well. Oh, God. That campus. In fact, my college roommate's wife worked there in the one of the department. Maybe it was the English department, now that I think about it. Yeah. But that was long before you were alive, Don, unfortunately, or fortunately. Hey,
Maybe.
Yeah. You're not gonna question that one. You went then to Cambridge after, right. And what did you study when you were at UB?
Well, I was a ceramics major for a year, and then I discovered I couldn't tell stories on pots, and I was a terrible artist. So then I switched over to English.
They actually had a ceramics major?
Yeah.
Wow. And you had your own throw pot and all of that sort of stuff? And
well, no, I all went to the studio, you know.
I gotcha.
And I didn't have my own throwing wheel or anything.
Yeah. Do you still do that? Are you still a pot thrower?
No. What I discovered is I became a cook for a long time, and I discovered that's what transmuting through fire turned into.
Oh, my God. You started to put the fire under rather than around.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so you became a chef,
well,
basically.
I became a cook.
You became a cook.
The difference, the way I see it, the difference between a chef and a cook.
Yeah.
A chef is the one who runs the kitchen and sets the dishes and tells other people what to do. And the cook, the line cook, is definitely the person who does it. I was definitely the person who did it.
Yeah. Have you seen The Bear on television, the series?
No, I don't have Hulu, and people keep telling me I need to see that.
Oh, my gosh. It is. I think this is the final season coming up here.
Yeah, I think so.
We have a connection, of course, to this area because Eben Moss Bacharach is plays one of the characters on the show. He's from Northampton, and his Eric Bacharach was the founder of the Springfield Community Music School. And so Mr. Moss Bacharach knows this area well. And so you must watch The Bear. He's phenomenal. But the whole series, I was a waiter, and I worked in many restaurants, and I always marveled at the people who actually put the things together. There is something about being so organized that I would never be able to do that. I mean, you've got to be organized in order to be a line chef. Am I right?
Yeah, I guess. Although I don't know if I'm all that organized. It's just that like many things, if you're a really good cook, then you've got that area of your life organized. You might still be a mess elsewhere.
That's sure. At least in the kitchen, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where do you live now?
Now I live in Amherst.
Okay, gotcha. So how did you get from Cambridge? What were you doing in Cambridge? When you moved to Cambridge, what were you doing there?
Well, to be honest, I went up there originally because I was going to try to reconnect with my college girlfriend.
Always
there. We broke up for the last time, and I just liked it and simply stayed there.
Oh, my God.
I was working at Harvard, actually, in one of their libraries.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wild. And so you ended up staying and working at Harvard.
Yeah. Yeah, at the economics library. I used to take the elevator with what's his name? John Kenneth Galbraith.
Oh my gosh!
Who never really spoke to me, but it was kind of nice to just be in the elevator with him.
You touched him. You touched his lapel or the tails of his coat.
We breathed the same air. We breathed the same air.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then while I was there, I was working on my first novel, and used that to get into the MFA program at UMass at Amherst, which is how I came out here.
Oh, okay.
Met the woman who's now my wife, and basically stayed.
Wow. You said you were in the MFA program, and
yes.
Because you were always a writer. You knew, there's something about when you write, you have to write. Am I right?
Well, yeah. It's basically the thing I do best in this world, Plus, the feeling one gets when you write is different from anything else. It's really better, to my mind, it's better than anything else.
Explain that one for me, because I sort of feel that as myself as well.
The best sense of drafting is when it starts to come out of you, and it's coming out of you, and you're really not writing. It's like it's coming out of some other place, but you're using your craft and your skill to guide it as it's coming out. That's more fun than anything. And then lately, I've really enjoyed editing, which is a different skill, but you're still deep into it, and basically, you're taking full paragraphs and figuring out what's the most important thing in them, and basically distilling everything down.
Yeah, that editing is so important when you're producing a piece. I was working this morning you both would enjoy this one. I was at Tandem Bagel on Mondays. I take my spouse to the doctor, and while I'm waiting for him, I go to Tandem Bagel in West Springfield, and while there, I'm there for 2 hours. I am working on something, and so I always bring the guys. They know me there now so well. It's so funny when you're a regular. They know I'm always going to get a scone with butter and coffee, and I always feel kind of strange when they're calling me Bob, and Bob's come, and it's like at Dunkin' Donuts, all the seniors are sitting there, and Bob is here. But so this morning I was working. I've been writing poems for our display that Westfield and Weekends has at the Majestic Theater. We have taken over James Johnson Corin and our wonderful Don Blanton. We have in their cafe, they have a gallery. And so we have some snippets from past shows that Westfield and Weekends has produced on the gallery walls. Now, what does this have to do with writing? Well, one of our last shows last summer was the Great Cats and Cool Dogs of Summer. And so last summer, I wrote with James Johnson Corin all these T.S. Eliot-like poems about cats who lived in Westfield. And so we rewrote, it's called Old Westfield's Book of Uncommon Cats. So we did some on the wall there, and I rewrote some of them so that they fit into a West Springfield kind of vibe, okay? And James did a giant, wonderful portrait of someone we're calling Eaton the Major Majestic. His name is, it's a cat, and he's the impresario cat. He's the whatever. So for the last week, I have been writing this poem a la T.S. Eliot about Eaton Majestic, the Major. And I had been working on it, oh my God, every day, trying to finish it. So I finished it yesterday, or 2 days ago, and yesterday I had brunch with Danny Eaton from the Majestic, who is, the stage is named after him, and the cat is named after him, okay? It's an old friend of mine. And one of the lines has something about cat on a hot tin roof. And they had a performance of Cat on a Hot Tin Roof because the cat is talking, is the impresario. Turns out they never did Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. So what I had in the poem was incorrect. So I had to go back to my original poem. All right. It's a long story to get to a point, but I went through the poem and I changed things. But to find the right rhymes and words, oh my God. I was there for like 2 hours working on just like 4 lines. And then finally, it's complete. And that joy that I had when I left that restaurant, it's done. And I know now that poem is done. How do you know when you edit and the work is done?
That's a really good question. Usually it's because somebody's ripping it out of your hands to publish it. I wrote computer manuals for about 7 years, and then I wrote food articles, restaurant reviews and food articles for another 7. And the food articles, basically, I had a deadline. And so basically I turned them in at the deadline and done, if I still wanted to go over them again, it was too late. So,
were you one of these people that the deadline, you're better at the deadline rather than 2 weeks before the deadline? Or
no, not really.
No.
But the deadline was really, I usually waited till about 3 or 4 days before the deadline. Mm-hmm. I'd go out to eat if I was doing a restaurant review, or I would do all the cooking and everything early.
Yeah.
But then I would save the writing up of it till the very end.
We have to talk about that part of your life. But first, I think one of the things, Marianne, would you tell us about Straw Dogs so they know, that this man is in great company. When he's a Straw Dogs writer, he's in great company.
Oh, he is in great company.
Why?
We've been around for 16 years now, and some famous writers are with us, like Patricia Lee Lewis, Jacqueline Sheehan, New York Times bestselling author, Ellen Maripol. Several people who are associated with us. Susan Strumpik-Shea is also one of our members, and unfortunately moving to Ireland, which is very sad.
I know, yeah.
But it's a great company of writers. Don has been with us for a few years. He's very, very effective at fundraising for our annual conference this year. I'm working with him on that fundraising endeavor, and it's just always great to see someone show me their new book, and I can't wait for other people to share this book of the journey, because that's what we're all doing. We're all on a journey of writing, and Straw Dog wants to support anybody however they can. So being able to bring Don and his book into Westfield so he can share parts of it, people can ask him questions. It just opens up everybody else who thinks they might be writing or working on something. And if Don did it, maybe I can do it. What can I learn from Don? What can I learn from Straw Dog? And that's our mission, is to support all of the writers, whatever your genre is.
And you are represented in all over Western Massachusetts, am I right there? Or a good part of it, for one?
4 counties. We did a lot of stuff in Northampton. We have stuff in Greenfield. We've moved into Holyoke now. with another group of writers, one of whom is then on our board.
Mm-hmm.
So we're branching into Holyoke, and of course I brought it down into Westfield.
Sure.
So we're just trying to expand and let people know what we have to offer, so we can be helpful and continue to expand and support the writing community.
Yeah. Don, well, how did you find, where did you get connected with Straw Dogs? How?
Oh, it's a good question. I've been at the Right Angles Writers Conference. I used to go to that pretty regularly, not 100%.
Uh-huh.
And through a chain of circumstances, I got involved in fundraising for the original Right Angles Conference. And then about 3 years ago, Straw Dog took it over. So I sort of went with it.
Sure.
And got to know everybody. And because I was good at fundraising, which I have to say, writers and fundraisers typically are not the same person.
God, yes. No, you are. God, I get that.
Typically, if you're good at fundraising, you're not good at writing. I happen, through a large chain of circumstances, I happen to be good at both.
Yeah.
Some of it is, I think, I ran a business for close to 30 years, which hired writers and programmers and teachers. And so I got used to being the guy who could do the work, but also could hire the work and could sell the work, which is a whole different set of skills.
Sure. So you both are talking about this conference. What is it, and is it coming up soon?
It'll be in October.
It's October.
The conference it's been in existence for almost 30 years, Bob. It used to be run by an organization called Right Angles. And when they dissolved, they approached us and said, will you take this conference over? And this is our third year running it. And it's an all-day conference. There are 4 different sessions, and in each session, you have 5 or 6 different workshops to pick from. So you can, whatever skill you're working on, and lunch is provided. So in October, we're going to be at Bay Path. Isn't that right, Don? We're going to be at Bay Path?
I think so. It's a Bay Path.
Bay Path this year.
College now. University now.
University. Yeah. Wonderful. Well, you guys have got to come on just before that so that we can. Is it open to everyone? Is the conference open to everyone?
Right. It is not a free conference, but it's open to anyone who wants to come to the conference, whatever they write, And there's, like I said, there's 4 different sessions with at least 5 or 6 different things to pick from, poetry, character development. There's panels. We have agents there. People can pay a fee to speak with an agent about their writing.
Oh, gosh.
So it really is all about writers.
Wow. Wow. It must be fun must be fun to create, Don, to sort of put it together.
Hard work.
It's a lot more work than fun. Yeah. But I do want to stress, though, that because the agents participate, what happens is you sign up for an agent, it's a fee, but you send the agent the first 5 pages of whatever you're working on, or 5 pages. Right. And then the agent will give you a critique based on that, which is not something you normally get. It's very hard, particularly in this neck of the woods. If you lived in, say, New York or Boston or something, it'd be easier. Yeah. But it's harder to get in front of an agent.
Sure.
So to be in front of an agent, having read your stuff and made some comments on it, it's pretty helpful.
Sounds absolutely wonderful. Did you, when you're in your life, do you have an agent that works with you now, or where?
Me, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I decided because I retired and kept on writing.
Yeah.
But I shifted from writing professionally to writing novels. I decided I didn't have time to really sell myself to an agent who would then have to sell my work to a publisher.
Right.
So I went a different route.
I hear you.
It's I envy the people who do have agents, because if you have a good agent, then it's really, really nice, because you can bounce ideas off them. They really become not a collaborator, but they become like a friend and someone who will help you along the way.
Sure. They make your work better if they're really a good agent in a way.
Yeah, they'll tell you how to make it better.
Yes.
And they'll also sell it to somebody who likes it, because one of the things you discover is that in this world, people like what you do, people don't like what you do, and people don't care about what you do. There's
Yeah.
three different kinds of,
No,
reactions.
repeat that again for all of us who need help
Yeah.
that way.
There's some people who really like what you do, some people who really hate what you do, and some people who just don't care. Because one of my contentions is the opposite of love is indifference. If somebody hates your work, they've already invested. They're invested in it.
Yeah.
When I was in the MFA, I had one of my fellow writers hated one of my characters, and he just went off for like 15 minutes on what a terrible person she was. And since she was completely invented, I was thrilled because he knew her well enough to really dislike her, which was, I mean, granted, you want somebody to love, you want people to love everything you do and always, but
sure,
but
to hate the character that you've written to be hated, that's a compliment in a way.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yes.
Yeah. We have so much to talk about, but why don't we take a break here? I want to play a little bluegrass because today I think there is some kind of, how they have all these national things. This is Old Time Fiddlers Week for all you fiddle fans out there. So I asked our great musical director in Wisconsin to come up with something. And so there's a song called Walt Whitman that this band called, what is it? Something about turtles. Turtles, what is it? Trashed by Turtles.
Oh,
there's a band called Trashed by Turtles. Don't ask. I don't know. I just did. But this is their song, Walt Whitman, which when you hear the lyrics, I don't know whether it can, it has anything to do with Walt Whitman, but it's a fiddle song. So here we go. We'll be back and we'll talk to these great guys in 1 second. There's two.
Light it up like the city at night. Old dark bones in the city. Oh, Walt Whitman and borrowed alcohol. We drove fast, shaking all the way, like the waves in California. Sorry, I never know what to say at all. We're caught in a whirlwind. Dry as a ball, and I don't think that I can make it on my own, 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 on my own. Murder, love, man, it never ends. I tried, but I couldn't make it. Yeah, your paperback lovers could never pay the bill. Want it once and then let it go, or you may never shake it. End up drinking too much and popping a pill. Loose like a feather and left here alone, and I don't think that I can make it on my own, on my own, on my own, on my
Underwriting for community radio is provided by the YMCA of Greater Westfield. Every day, the YMCA strengthens the community through programs and services focused on youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. For all the Y's many programs and services, visit us on the web at www.westfieldymca.org. the YMCA, 67 Court Street in downtown Westfield. We're more than a gym. We're a cause.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
107.5 FM WSFD. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 107.5 FM WSFD-LP Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday, and it is a wonderful June 23rd where you are. Did I get that right?
22nd, Bob.
No, we're filming. We're taping on the 22nd. Tomorrow it will be broadcast on the 23rd.
Through the magic of television, they don't see it
You
till
are
the 23rd.
now in the future, Marianne Scaglamiglio. Yeah. So we tape on Mondays,
Future.
we broadcast on Tuesdays, we archive forever on YouTube. That voice that you heard was Peter Coles, our great producer. That is Marianne Scaglamiglio from Straw Dogs Writers Guild, and Don Lesser, author of Crystal Springs. Don will be at Westfield on weekends with the Wow Center, 105 Elm Street, downtown Westfield, 7 o'clock this Thursday night, which starts our big weekend, which features all kinds of wonderful happenings. Now, Don Lesser, your novel is called Crystal Springs. Tell me all about it. Tell me what you can about this novel.
Okay, well, initially, I had, they always tell you you have to have an elevator pitch.
Yes.
So initially, my first elevator pitch was, it's the story of a man who basically is trying to find out the truth of the death of a young woman who may or may not be his daughter. Then the second elevator pitch I had, basically, it follows a group of friends over 40 years. And two of them may have had a child together, and the child winds up deceased, and one of them is trying to find out the truth of how she died.
Wow. And so you've got these two plot lines, and they come together in some way.
Yeah, well,
in a way.
I mean, everybody knows each other because they're a group of friends. So, and it's kind of interesting to me what happens when you've been friends with somebody for a long time. How it changes. You go through different stages of friendship. You meet someone once and you're friends for 5 years, and then maybe you don't see them again or whatever. But if you're friends for a while, you go through different phases. And so I'm trying to sort of faithfully document those phases.
Interesting.
And you do a good job of it, too, because I have read the book.
Marianne, you come in with any question that you feel you want to ask Don as we proceed here.
Sure. I just wanted to say that about having read it, that, it is true. Yeah. It begins in 76 and goes into the 2000s. And you and I have grown up there, Bob. So a lot of it is going to be familiar of people getting together, but there's this core of friends through all these decades and all the changes that they go through and how the relationships change. It's a very, very interesting story, and it's not maudlin in any way.
Yeah.
Which is I would not have finished it.
It's great. Good. It's got some really good reviews. Jackie Sheehan loved the book and gave it a really great blurb, as I remember. Don, do you describe it as a mystery? Is it a mystery?
Well, it's a mystery in that the real truth of this death of this young woman is kind of not revealed until the end. But it's not a traditional mystery like a whodunit or a police procedural or any of the categories of standard mysteries.
Sure.
Like I say, it's more. Do you know about the three kinds of fiction these days?
Tell us.
Literary fiction, which is the kind that is produced by MFAs and by esoteric writers.
Right.
There's what are called beach reads, which are much more popular stuff.
Beach reads, summer reading, sort of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in the middle is what they call upmarket contemporary, which basically takes more popular subjects and basically puts some of the some of the features of literary fiction on them, and that's where I like to work. You know, I like to be. I don't want to write just an escapist novel, which is there's nothing
Right.
wrong with it, but that's not what
No.
I'm interested in.
Sure.
And I don't like literary fiction either because I feel like I remember once in college I was in a writing workshop and one of the guys in it was writing. He was 1,500 pages into a novel that he said, "quote 6 people in the world will understand," and I just thought it was a colossal waste of time.
Oh
Um,
my gosh. It is
you
so
know,
it's so true. Oh, it's so
yeah,
true.
yeah. I mean, I don't so much pander to my readers, but I really want readers to read it. I
Sure.
keep saying what I'd really rather have is readers than money, although money would be nice, of course.
Can we
But I
quote you
still
on
really
that?
want to have
Yeah, we'll quote you on that one.
definitely,
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah. So, Don, let's
Yeah.
go back to where did this book start? I mean, like, where did you get the? Is it based on truth? Is it based on something that happened in your life, or do you have a dream? How did it start?
Well, initially there was a young woman who was a waitress who was basically drinking and drugging with a group of people she worked with at a hotel in sort of near me, and basically she went into a seizure and died, and everybody else went out for breakfast, and so that's the true story. And I took that and
You
sort of
saw? Was that
modified
a
it.
newspaper article or a story?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah.
She was a UMass student when I first started there.
Oh my
Um,
gosh! Sure.
yeah, and it's a sad story, and it's the way I changed it. Really, it's not nearly I think as sad as that because
Mm.
the people involved in the real world one were pretty callous because this
Mm.
woman was having seizures and they just left her.
Yeah.
In my story, it worked out a little differently.
Yeah.
But that was the genesis of it, and then I really tried to not write an autobiographical story. I mean, that's the first couple of novels you write are always autobiographical,
Right.
and I've already written one of those in the MFA program.
I
So I
got.
figured, you know, I did everything I could to make the characters be characters and not just thinly veiled people that I knew.
Oh, interesting.
And
Gosh.
what I like to tell people, if it sounds autobiographical, it's because I'm a good writer.
There you go.
There you are. There you are. You're
Yeah.
you're filtering stuff of your life into the book, but
Oh, definitely,
yeah,
definitely.
but it is the characters are taking on a life of their own, I suppose, right?
Yeah. Well, once you base a character on a person you know, and the character does something that the person you know wouldn't do, but that is completely consistent with the character, then you know your characters have come alive and they're no longer based on people you knew. They might have some of the characteristics,
Yeah.
but they're real. They're really characters. They're really people,
Did
and you
you
just follow
start?
them.
Did the book start someplace and end someplace that you didn't think, or did I mean did it take a side road that you didn't expect?
Well, I think it was pretty much always on the same road, but they took a lot of detours that I wasn't thinking about.
Yeah.
Usually the way I work is if I know what the last scene is and what the first scene is, that's usually the best for me.
Ah.
Other people outline meticulously.
Yeah.
Other people basically just say, I don't know what's going to happen. I just keep writing until I get to the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
What's the
I'm
hardest part for you in writing a novel or anything for that matter, I suppose?
Well, the hardest part is like if your character, like one of my characters is a poet. And so the hardest thing for me is I don't really read a lot of modern poetry,
Oh,
like 20th century poetry.
sure.
So researching that and trying to figure out what I wanted to say about it, because obviously as a poet, he's going to be quoting people that most people don't know.
Right.
Whereas, do I want to do that? Do I want to be completely accurate, or do I want to quote people that most people have heard of? So that's the hard part is
Hmm.
researching things you don't know and getting the appropriate amount of information into the book.
Yeah. Marianne said that it begins in 1976?
Well, 77 actually.
77. So you would then want to reflect that period, I suppose.
Oh yeah, definitely. You definitely want to be 100% accurate in 1977, which is why some of the things that happen, I've had people tell me that would never happen today. And you're right, it would never happen today, but it did happen in 1977 or 78, or it's more likely it would have.
Well, the poems or he's a poet, so did you decide to use poets that were known or part of the fabric of society in 1970 that we may have forgotten?
No, what I did is I didn't quote many poets in it, but I did talk about Lord Byron and Percy Bysshe Shelley, who I figured most people knew, and at least most people had a, as we say, like the one paragraph understanding of who they were.
Yeah. So you change. You're following this group of friends throughout a course of 5 decades.
40 years.
40 years. So would you say that there are 4 distinct characteristics or components of the book that reflect the change of society because we've certainly changed from 77 to 2014, or when does the book end actually?
The book ends in 2010.
2010. So we haven't got to the latest. We're not where we are today. In other words, we're not as crazy as we were today in 2010.
Yeah, and I deliberately did not put a lot of politics in it for various reasons, but mostly the characters themselves were not very political. For example, Ellen Meeropol, who is one of the Straw Dog founding mothers, really. She's extremely political, and I don't think she could write a story that didn't have a political component.
Yeah.
And that's great, but that's just not me.
Yes. Yeah.
One of the things you learn in an MFA program, aside from the fact that people will love or hate your work, is that just because you like to do something doesn't make it better or worse than anything else. So I have a very strong acceptance of other styles and other directions that people take, because it might not be mine, but it's certainly not a bad thing.
Sure.
And one of the things that I noticed when I was reading is that it doesn't, like, we're not doing the 70s, we're not doing the 80s, we're doing a flow of time as people's lives change through those time periods. It's not a distinction of we're new decade, no changes.
Yeah.
It's just how life actually flows for people.
Yeah. If I think of the 40 years, let's say that I have known my college roommates for 60 years, okay?
Right.
And some of them have appeared and appear regularly on my show. Jim Nagel and Jay Bose and Jim Quinn have. And they're still very vital people. But our relationships over those 80 years or those 60 years have involved some times when I didn't even connect with them. I mean, I didn't talk to Jim Nagel or Jay for maybe 30 years, 40 years. Jim Quinn has been in and out of my life all of that time, and I suppose, and I've had moments of guilt, and I always say, oh gosh, I got to call Jim. I got to call Jay or Jim Nagel, my other friend. I have to do it. I feel guilty if I don't, and yet at the same now, and then I'm 80, I want to do it because we don't know how much time we've got left.
Right.
But in the course of all that, we've gone through divorces and births and everything from AIDS on. And my friends are both straight and gay, so we've interwove whatever happened with me and my partners, et cetera, or their partners for that matter.
Sure. Well, even just take a look at a divorce. I mean, you know, you've known a person before they met their spouse.
Mm-hmm.
You've known them when they and their spouse were together and very happy together. You've known them when they separated. You've known them after the divorce, and each of those is a separate. It's like a separate side to the person and to you.
Yeah.
And so, if you're being not even being honest, if you're just being reflecting that situation, you know, you want to talk about what happens to each person, you know, in each of those phases.
Yeah. Does do spouses figure into a life after a divorce? That let's say you're friends with John and he's married to Mary. Is Mary part of your life after that, or does your relationship with Mary change drastically?
Well, I think it's very situational. I've heard ex-in-laws referred to as outlaws, which I thought is, you know,
Yeah.
there are people, there are some people that I think when you know them, you like both people in the couple,
Yeah.
and therefore when they get divorced, you try not to choose. Sometimes you have to choose.
Mm.
You know, in one case, a couple that I knew separated. I was better friends with the husband, who I stayed friends with until he literally moved to Florida.
Right.
And then my wife and the wife and his ex-wife were really close, and so now we're more closer to her.
Interesting.
So, like I say, things change. That's the beauty of life, is things are always changing.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever really fixed.
The secrets play a great role in your novel, in a way. You know, you said you reveal something, and there's a secret. When I was reading about the book, that there was an affair or something that takes place in your book. Explain that.
Well, one of the men meets one of the women, and the two of them are immediately drawn to each other. And in 1977, you know, a marriage was not what it is today.
Oh,
I mean,
God,
today
yeah.
having an extramarital affair is a much more serious thing. In 77, it was almost not expected, but it was just, you know, sure, one of those things that happens.
Yeah.
And so when they have an affair, the two of them, you know, it's in 77, it was perfectly fine. And then she ends up getting pregnant and breaks off the affair. And then the question is he the father or not? And I was just at a wedding this weekend, and someone who'd read the book cornered me and kept saying, "Well, you got to tell me, is she his daughter or not?" And it's like, well, you know. So I thought that was a really good thing to be cornered by.
Yeah. It's a wonderful piece of plot line for folks to always have that. You know what? There's something that keeps you reading because of that. You know.
Sure.
I'm always struck by that beach read love story. Remember that love story? Who's the guy that wrote it? Oh God, it was Ryan O'Neal in the movie.
Jonathan
Oh
Siegel?
yeah.
What's it? What's
No. It was the love
Siegel? Siegel. Something Siegel, I think.
Love means never having to say you're sorry. That
Yes,
one there?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
I forgot
the-
the real
the-
name of the book.
Yeah, the novel works because in like the first sentence, you know that, or the first paragraph or so, you know that she's going to die. So the whole book is filtered through that framework or whatever. And without that, it would be a normal story. Okay, so that question that the reader has as you read, you're trying to discover how this fits in, et cetera, really clever writing.
Yeah,
you know,
and plus, like everything that she does then has this tinge to it that, you know, she is a dead woman by the time the novel ends, and you know that she's going to be dead.
Yeah.
So this one thing that she does is, you know, is remarkable because it is a living moment of a dead person.
Yeah. Who are your favorite writers?
Well, you know, it's funny.
Authors. Are you an author or a writer? You like to
Well,
consider yourself a writer rather because you were a writer before. Now you're really an author.
Well, yeah, I've read somewhere once that a writer is somebody who writes and an author is someone who's published. You know, the same way a chef and a cook are different.
Yes.
So I would consider myself an author now since I've been published.
Yeah.
But mostly I really like writing. And throughout my life, you know, whenever I looked in the want ads, there was never a job for me except for cook or writer.
Yeah.
And except for tech writing in the 80s, you know, where the tech writing world was really blooming.
Yeah.
There still wasn't anything, you know, any jobs for me.
Yeah. I remember being on unemployment as an actor and going to the unemployment office for my checks, and they want to know every time you go if you've searched for work.
Right.
And I said, you can't, because they want to send you out on job stuff. I said, well, if you could find some auditions someplace, I'd be glad to go out. That's what I do, you know.
Yeah.
But that same sort of thing with it, you don't see it unless you go to the publications where does a writer like you go in order to find the source, the resources that you need? I know what it is. It's Straw Dogs Writers Guild.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Straw Dog has a lot of. They've got a lot of, besides the Right Angles Conference. They do have a lot of events that are really good for a writer. I mean,
yeah.
Basically, I mean, I have a very jaundiced view of writing, which is basically, if you write, you're a writer. If you don't write, you're a wannabe. You know, so that everybody who says, "Oh, I really want to write a novel. I've got this great idea, but I'm just waiting for summer, fall, blah blah blah, whatever, to start it." Or I need to have, you know, the right light, the right sound, the right, you know, everything. I have to have my cat, I have the right kind of tea.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
It's like, you know, I mean, I wrote, I wrote computer manuals and corporate training materials.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Basically, you don't have any time to have a writer's block. You know, you need it on Tuesday. You said you'd give it to them on Tuesday. If it's not there on Tuesday, they're very unhappy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And you can push it a little bit, but you know, for the most part, if you don't turn it in on Tuesday, you don't get any more work from them. They don't yell at you. They don't do anything. Mostly, they just don't hire you again. And that has a definite effect on your livelihood.
Would you say that if somebody would want to be a writer and say, I want to be a writer, what do? Well, you take a class, I suppose, or you do something where you're going to have to write. If that's what's going to get you to write every day, or read as well. Don't you think that reading and writing go together? You can't be a good writer if you don't read, I suppose. Maybe I'm wrong there.
No, I read a ton when I was younger. I don't read. I read much more slowly now. And to be honest, I tend to read more nonfiction these days than fiction.
Yeah.
Which is a change for me because I never read nonfiction at all. But yes, Straw Dog. There's a couple of there's groups in pretty much every area of the country that will run workshops, and you can take anything from a 1 day to a 1 year workshop.
Right.
Based on what you like.
Sure.
And
well, we have Westfield State here as well. You could take a course. You can audit a course at Westfield State in composition or whatever, UMass, I suppose, as well. You know,
probably have the same thing. And I know, like Patricia Lee Lewis used to run a manuscript group that was a year, and you met once a week, not once a week, once a month. And you had X number of pages to turn in for people to look at and critique. But it was a year, and at the end of the year, you'd have a manuscript.
I love it. Yeah, wild. Hey, let's take a quick break. I wanted to play something that was reminiscent, and I don't think that your characters grow old enough for this song, but I'm going to play Old Friends by Simon and Garfunkel because I thought, oh, geez, maybe that'll fit in. Then later on, I'll play a song by Rodgers and Hart, I Could Write a Book, which fits right in as well. All right, so here's Old Friends, that wonderful Simon and Garfunkel song.
Old friends, old friends, sat on their park bench like bookends. A newspaper blown through the grass falls on the round toes of the high shoes of the old friends. Old friends, winter companions, the old men, lost in their overcoats, waiting for the sun. The sounds of the city sifting through trees settles like dust on the shoulders of the old friends. Can you imagine us years from today, sharing a park bench quietly? How terribly strange to be 70. Old friends, memory brushes the same years, silently sharing the same fear. Time it was, and what a time it was, it was a time of innocence, a time of confidences. Long ago it must be, I have a photograph. Preserve your memories, they're all that's left you.
Support for the community programming is provided by the Dunkin' Donut shops of Westfield and the Sardina family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' coffee remains the same. At 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio.
107.5 FM WSFD. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 107.5 FM WSFD-LP Westfield.
Wow, it is June 23rd where you are, and we're having a great show today with Don Lesser, the writer, the author of Crystal Springs, and Marianne Scogliamilio. Did I get it right, Marianne? I think I got it. Yeah. I'm going to spell your name S-K-A. That way I will always remember it. You know, ska is a kind of music or something. I don't know.
Go.
Yeah, there we are. So, Don Lesser, we didn't even tell folks how they can purchase your book, which is always important, other than you will have books available this Thursday night at 7 o'clock, the Wow Center, 105 Elm Street, downtown Westfield. It's free. Our guest lecture series for Writers Out Loud. Don, where do we find it if we can't come on Thursday night?
Well, there are several local bookstores, Broadside, the Odyssey in South Hadley, and Amherst Books in Amherst. You can get it through Amazon, and you can get it through the publisher, Rootstock Publishing, in Montpelier, Vermont.
Rootstock, Rootstock Publishing.
Yep.
We have a new bookstore in Westfield that I am sure would love to stock your books. It is called Margin Books, and it is directly across the street on the second floor in the Eaton, I think it's the Eaton building across from us. at, I
I've
think
been
it's
there.
108, the Margins Bookstore.
102.
Is it 102?
They're
Gotcha.
on 102. You can go up the stairs the one door for 102. You can go up the stairs to the second floor where they are, or you can go to 108 where you can take the elevator. It's one of
Right.
the old buildings, and the stairs are quite steep. But I've been there. They've got old and new used books there. I think it would be great if we, got Don, if you wanted to check it out. I
Yeah.
can go there
Yeah,
ahead of time. And
on Thursday, I'll get to town a little early and see if I can talk to them.
Oh
Do it.
man, yes, absolutely. They the young man, I think his name is Owen. Did I get his right name?
I don't know because I don't know his
Oh
name.
my
I just
gosh.
walked in and,
He's done a
introduced
really
myself.
lovely job, and it's really
Nice job.
a charming, charming bookstore, and deserves for us all to support it. So go to Margin Books, everyone, but also think about Crystal Springs. Now, Don, you're now out there. The book is published. What do you do then? Are you working on a second one? Are you out there? You're probably out there hawking this one for one. You're going to
I am
make some
hawking
appear.
this one. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, just to let people know, if you go to Margin Books and ask them for it, he can order it either through Ingram, which is the place bookstores order through,
Right.
or from Rootstock.
Right.
Mostly, you don't order through Ingram unless you're a bookstore or a library.
Right. Right.
And also, because it's not published by Amazon, bookstores will carry you. If you're published by Amazon, it's way cheaper, but bookstores won't carry you.
Yeah. How do you like that? You have to be published, or Ingram Sparks, I think, is the company, as you say, that you really have the bookstores utilize in order to have the books there. So, are you working on a second one?
Well, let's see.
Or
The first
third
thing
or
I
fourth?
did-
No, it's actually your fourth or fifth, I suppose,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I already wrote a science fiction novel. Again, I first drafted it. Again, in a workshop that lasted a year. And that still needs a few more rewrites.
Yeah.
And then I'm working on another book that takes place in the same locale. What I did for Crystal Springs, by the way, is the name that Belchertown used to be called before they decided to honor Governor John C. Belcher.
Oh,
which
really?
was a mistake in many ways.
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I did is I took the towns or the cities of Northampton and Amherst and combined them into one called Hastings. And so I have another book that takes place in Hastings, a little bit more of a mystery.
Hastings. Is it? Did you have to research to make sure there wasn't a Hastings out there? I mean, I suppose. Is there?
One of the comments I got on Crystal Springs is that the development editor for Rootstock Publishing said, there's a famous Crystal Springs in Florida. Does the book take place there? And it's like, well, no. In the first line of the book, it says Western Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So if you read at least the first line, you know where we're set.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I basically combined a couple of colleges into Chapin College. I have to say, I must have gone through about 6 or 7 different names for pretty much everybody in the book and every place in the book until I found one that really rang true.
Yeah.
Because you want, I mean, you could call a place, I don't know, Smithfield or something, and unless it really rings, it really has an aliveness to it.
Yeah.
Then it's just not the right name.
Yeah. It's so strange. And to even go to call it by a real name, I'm trying to think of something Springs in Massachusetts, let's say, or even in New England. I can't think of Saratoga Springs. But Saratoga Springs doesn't have any, I don't know, Crystal Springs sort of, there's something about it. It's a good name. Like Three Pines. I always loved the idea that the Louise Penny books are all set in Three Pines. I wondered why she didn't call one of her books Three Pines, because it really says something where it's located or whatever. But
that's one of the hardest things I think for as a writer is finding the right name for someone or some place.
Oh man.
And you know it when you got it, but I in the book I'm working on now, one of the characters has a new name pretty much in every chapter. And so I have to explain that, that it's going to get sorted out in the next draft. But
Yeah.
for now, I just keep changing his name.
So for us fledgling authors out there, how do you write? Do you write in longhand on the on the computer, or do you and what is your day like? You're a retired man now, so
Yeah.
is there some discipline involved in all of that?
Well, when I was working on it, it varies. I mean, when I was working, basically I wrote all the time. I mean, literally, I'd get to my desk by 9, and I'd write, have lunch, write, keep writing, and often after dinner, I would take a little nap and write until 2 in the morning. Because
Oh my gosh.
I mean, well, you need to. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're going to produce according to the schedule.
Yeah.
But what I'm doing now is basically maybe like 3 hours in the morning seems to work. Although it's shifting to the afternoon. I really feel like things don't have to be set in stone. you
Yeah.
know. When I was in high school, I
Yeah.
used to write in the laundry room in my apartment building. I'd go
God, I
down and
love this.
listen to the dryers, moving. And
There's nothing better now that I think about it. You brought me right back to a laundry room I know and love. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and you asked how I write. Originally, I wrote in longhand, like everyone. Then I wrote on a typewriter because I discovered that when you write longhand, you have to type it up anyway. So
Yeah.
I figured I might as well type it up, to start with.
Sure.
And when I was in the MFA, I had one friend rather, who he used to literally cut and paste his books. I mean, cut and paste, now it's a computer thing, but it used to literally be a scissors and glue. And
Sure.
his pages were such that you could see them sideways because
Sure.
he had cut and pasted so much.
Oh,
And what he
God,
would
yeah.
do then is he would Xerox them, and they would go down to like a single sheet, and then he would start cutting and pasting again.
Wow.
But once I started using a computer, I really did do everything on a computer now.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's something about when you're writing with a pen or pencil to move to a computer to get that same connection that you have when you're holding it. But you can with your fingers. I'm begun to write on the computer.
it boils down to, if a person dislikes the computer as soulless or whatever,
Yeah.
then they're never going to be happy writing on a computer.
No.
And the advantage to writing in longhand is that you have to make each word anew. Each time you write, you have to make the word again,
Yeah.
which it's really easy on a computer to just slide by a paragraph.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So,
When my-
yeah,
when-
it's
My spouse was writing. My spouse is an author, and he writes a lot. And he writes on the computer, and then he'll print it out, and then he'll give it to me, and I'm forever editing. And I've learned to do that for my own work. I print it up and then I write. So there is some connection to writing.
and
with the
and
longhand.
it varies. In my opinion, it varies for everybody. I mean, what I've learned to do is I write everything on the computer. When I have a new thing that I want to add, because you're always thinking about it and adding,
Oh yeah.
I put it inside of square brackets, because a square bracket never appears. It normally doesn't appear in your work.
Yeah.
So you can do a search or a find for them
Yeah.
and jump right to it. Plus, if you put new stuff in a square bracket, you know that it's not part of the manuscript, and that you need to integrate it in.
Sure.
So
sure.
that's what works for me.
Is there a resource that is out there that folks should, or an application that has helped? And I'm not talking about AI, but we could talk about AI, because I wonder to what extent that figured into your research. And but an application that you like as a writer that helps.
Well, as a writer, what I've lately what I've been using is an application called Scrivener, which is a word processor for writers. It's really designed for writing. It's really designed for drafting because it's really good at like getting the drafts down as well as integrating all your research. So if
interesting.
you've got a link to a website or a photograph or something,
Yeah.
you can stick that in and it sort of carries it with it in the work.
Right.
But
Is it free, Don?
It's $35.
$35.
So-
Worth it.
35 for a Word or 35 for a Mac, for a PC or a Mac, and I think $15 or something for an iPad. So if you want to use it but if you buy I have PCs,
Sure.
so I have it installed on 2 different PCs for the same price, which is completely legal.
Scrivener is an old word that means writer. Is that right?
Yeah, I think they chose that.
Yeah.
The name of the company is Literature and Latte.
Sounds good to me.
Oh my God, what do you have?
Yeah.
Do you have a coffee next to you, or what do you have? Do you have a drink at all, or
No, I drink a lot of coffee.
coffee? Yeah.
And actually, what happens is when I talk a lot, my voice, because I taught for so many years.
Yeah.
When I talk a lot, my throat gets a dry spot in it.
Yeah. Oh
so
man.
I'll tend to just sip something to loosen it up.
Sure. Sure.
But to follow through though, what I've discovered is that Scrivener is much better at drafting than it is at producing the final document. So at a certain point, I take everything out of Scrivener, export it to Microsoft Word, where my entire novel is one file. So that's really nice because now I can change a person's name with a search and replace.
Sure.
Instead of having to go through
yes.
different places.
Oh, of course. Hey, I'd love to come back and talk something about your past career in a way, but let's remind everyone, Straw Dogs, you find Straw Dogs Writers Guild on the web, Marianne. Where do you find that?
StrawDogWritersGuild.org.
.org, okay. And donlesser.com. And Lesser,
Right.
I have a sign in the window at WOW that has LESSOR on it, Don.
No,
I'm
it's
going
ER.
down there tonight. It's ER.
Just think lesser of two evils.
Yeah. The lesser of two evils. Isn't there a Sean Andrew Lesser? No, wait a minute. Lesser. Sean Andrew Greer just wrote a book a couple of years ago called Lesser. The main character's name is Lesser.
Yeah.
And the name of the book it's about a writer on tour. Have you read that book,
No,
Mr.
I
Lesser?
haven't, no.
Oh, you have
No, I
to.
haven't.
Yeah, Lesser by
was a
Andrew
Lesser-
Sean Greer.
Yeah, there was a Lesser's Bakery in Holyoke, apparently in the 50s and 60s. No relation. And
Yeah.
then there's a Tom Lesser in Northampton as a lawyer.
Yeah.
And I discovered when I was working that if I slurred my first name, people thought I said Tom, and so they always took my calls because, like, why is this lawyer calling me? You know? And then there was a Victor Lesser. None of these people I'm related to. The Victor Lesser was a computer scientist at UMass who worked for a company that I was doing work for.
Oh, my
And one
gosh.
of the programmers used to refer to the evil of two Lessers. He was
Oh my gosh! Yeah, with the name like Lesser, well, you've heard them all, haven't you?
Oh, I have definitely.
Yes, yeah. Hey, let's play I Could Write a Book. This is Anita O'Day, the great jazz artist, who incidentally, I just listened to her. Judy Garland's last recorded concert or something has Anita Day drunk as a skunk talking to I couldn't believe it. They said, I'm just playing this woman and I love her, and then I hear her screaming and yelling and what? Oh God! At any rate, this is I Could Write a Book. It was written by Rogers and Lawrence Hart, and the words are great. I Could Write a Book from Paltrow.
If they ask me, I could write a book about the way you walk, whisper, and look. I could write a preface on how we so the world would never forget. And the simple secret of the plot is just to tell them that I love you a whole lot. And then the world discovers, as my book ends, how to make two lovers a friend. If they ask me, I could write a book about the way you walk, talk, whisper, and look. I could write a preface on how we met, so the world would never forget. And the simple secret of the plot is just to tell them that I love you a whole lot. And then the world discovers, as my book ends, how to make the two lovers friends.
Underwriting for the community programming is provided by the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield, serving the youth of the Whip City and surrounding communities since 1969. For more information on the Great Futures Club for ages 3 to 5, happening weekdays, and the Club Teen Center for ages 11 and older, weekdays from 6:30 till 8 p.m., go online at bcgwestfield.org or visit the club at 28 West Silver Street. The Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield. Great futures start here.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every fourth Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio.
107.5 FM WSFD. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 107.5 FM WSFD-LP Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday, June 23rd, where you are, and I think it might be a rainy day today. I am taping the day before, and I think it's going to be a showery day for you folks out there. So find the sunshine in your hearts, okay? And we've got two great guests, as you know. We've got Peter Coles as our producer. Thank you, Peter. And we've got Don Lesser. Don Lesser, author of Crystal Springs, and Marianne Scogliamilio from Straw Dogs Writers Guild. We have this Thursday night Writers Out Loud, which has an open mic. And our open mic series is continuing right straight through the summer, and we've had great success with it. We invite you all to come and read. And Marianne and I are right now hard at work at trying to figure out what's another night so that we can invite the Straw Dogs writers themselves to it, because there are a couple of Straw Dogs things that happen on the same night. So we're trying to find a night or a time that works out better for everyone, so we can add some more writers to it as well. And so be looking for that at westfieldonweekends.com. Thursday night, Writers Out Loud presents Don Lesser. Friday night is the wonderful Downtown Live series by Artworks. This week, it's the 413s. They're a great band, incidentally. I might play a number to go out with from the 413s. And I also want you to know that on Saturday, Magic in the Garden, our great, wonderful show, is closing. So we're having a closing reception with many of the artists that day 2 to 4 in the afternoon. Go out to dinner, then come back and dance under the stars. Dancing Under the Stars with the Small Planet Dancers. Artworks Westfield again is behind that as well. And the Cultural District downtown. This is all happening in Westfield's Cultural District. Don, we have an officially named by the state. It's called the Westfield Downtown Cultural District. And so you will be appearing in it. And then on Sunday, we have at the Wow Center, 105 Elm Street, we have Don Blanton doing his open studio. So it's a great week. And on Wednesday afternoon, I would be remiss if I didn't congratulate Danny and Lucille Nason. Oh, they're the honorees for the Westfield Women's Club Tea. And that takes place at Stanley Park, and I send them all my love and congratulations. They are so deserving this year, and they are the award winners. And I think with a little coaxing, Lucille is going to be on my show next week, so I hope to see you there, Lucille. Danny, you're welcome to come as well. I'm going to have Becky Gons and Olga Gonzalez from, I was going to say Soup's On, but it's Energy Up downtown Westfield, and so we look forward to that. But hey, Don, you were a food writer, all right? So you reviewed restaurants, is that right? You went out and reviewed restaurants?
Yeah, I started out by writing food articles, and then they asked me if I'd review some restaurants, and so I did both of those for about 7 years.
Restaurant writing. Okay. When you said you're writing about food, what does that mean? Are you doing recipes? Are you talking about the ill effects of kale or something? What are you talking about?
No,
I love kale,
I
incidentally.
stayed away from kale. But,
yeah, I love kale.
When you write about food, either they would be recipes like shrimp with orange dust and talking about how to make orange dust and so on.
Oh.
Or I did one article, I went to the Russian groceries, and there was I think there still is a Russian grocery in Westfield.
Oh, yeah, we have the Victory Market. It's great. Yeah.
Victory, yeah, which was really good. And I went in there with a friend who neither of us spoke Russian, but it was okay.
Yeah.
And I discovered that if I want to buy caviar, that's the place to buy it.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
I had no idea. This is something for all of us to know. Buy your caviar there, right in town. Oh gosh.
You can get everything from, well, beluga is illegal, but Sevruga, the really expensive sturgeon caviar, all the way down to say paddlefish and salmon roe.
Oh man.
So,
is there a kind that you particularly like?
I haven't had much of the really expensive stuff.
Yeah.
Because, I have to buy it myself.
Oh man.
But,
I have a caviar story for you. As an actor in New York, I was a cater waiter, as my listeners will know, and I worked in an apartment house, and it might have been with somehow or other. I think it was the people that owned, it was in the Dakota, incidentally. Okay, yeah. So someplace in the Dakota. And I happened to be working with Lady Astor's maid, or one of the maids. And I know, it was Estee Lauder. She has this Fifth Avenue, she has this Fifth Avenue, incredible, like, it looks like Versailles inside. And we were serving this and all of this stuff, and they had this caviar that they were going to serve, okay? It was like $150, $200 a teaspoon or something,
Yeah, something like that.
The waiters and Lady Astor's maid, or whatever that she was, I was eating I must have eaten $500 or $600 worth of caviar that night.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean traditionally that kind of caviar you would serve it with a wooden spoon, and you wouldn't serve it. You'd serve it with like little rye bread squares.
Oh, interesting.
You don't want. I mean, sometimes they put like chopped hard-boiled egg and chopped onion.
Yeah.
But people who really like it just want the plain.
Yeah.
Because it's so expensive, you don't want to adulterate it.
Wow. Well, I'll never forget that, and I don't know if I would have been fired if they knew I had eaten all that caveat
Oh
right
yeah,
there.
probably, yeah.
But I thought I was in
Throwing
safe
enough trouble.
companies with Lady Astor's maid. At any rate. So, Don, when a restaurant reviewer goes out, tell us the secrets of restaurant reviewing. And then we're going to ask you some of your favorite restaurants as you remember them.
Okay, well, when you review a restaurant, if you're in a big city, you want to be completely anonymous. You know, in smaller venues like Western Mass, the Gazette actually published my photograph, so that didn't, that sort of didn't give me any anonymity. But
Yeah.
to be honest, most people didn't care,
Yeah.
so that was perfectly fine.
Sure.
And what you do is you go out usually with four people, ideally, and the rule is everybody orders an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. Nobody orders the same thing, and you get to taste everything.
Oh.
And
Okay.
and so what would happen is, in the early days, I'd have to go to the men's room in between courses to write down my thoughts.
Oh,
In later years, I just would take out my iPhone and pretend I was sending a text and be rude, and just take notes. And then basically, you tell people, and because in a, well, in a large city, you can be snarky. You can be really nasty about
Sure.
somebody.
Of course.
In a smaller environment, it's harder to be nasty because you're likely to run into the person. You're never influenced by you shouldn't be influenced at all by advertising. So just because a restaurant's buying advertising doesn't give them a free pass to a good review.
I often wondered about that. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, a matter of fact, in 7 years, there was only one restaurant that my paper wanted me to review that I didn't want to.
Oh.
And I found a way to review it, sort of more or less on my terms.
Aha. Got it.
But again, the goal really in almost every review is you're eating there. The person who's reading you wants to eat there or may never eat there, and you want to tell them what it's like. So there used to be a place in Northampton. They're out of business now. They're where Oriental Delights is in Northampton, and it was a brother and daughter team went to China and bought a whole bunch of old windows, because in China people were replacing all the old windows with triple tracks.
Yeah.
And they were just throwing out the old ones, which were beautiful. They were hand carved and everything.
Sure.
So they bought a bunch of them, took them back, and mounted them in the restaurant. So I made sure to mention that in my review, because my theory is while you're sitting waiting for your food, you and your date want to talk about, or you and your person you're eating with want to talk about something, and to have the ready conversation of, oh, you see those windows, those used to be like literally outside windows.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I try to get as many.
Give the
many things
ambiance
like that.
as well.
Excuse me? Yeah.
Give the
Part of
ambiance.
The ambiance, yeah.
So you go in, you're eating this, you end up having to say, well, salty, sour. I mean, like, how many adjectives can you use to describe a meal?
There are very few. And, if you watch Guy Fieri, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Yeah, sure.
One of the things I love about him is watching him come up with a new way to say, this was good. It's really fun for me watching.
Yeah.
But again, what I would try to do is, rather than first I try to give you my prejudices, what I liked, and talk about the dish the way, that I like. I really liked that it was blah, blah, blah. I really didn't like that it was blah, blah, blah. At one place, I had a bouillabaisse.
Yeah.
Bouillabaisse, traditionally, you make a garlic mayonnaise aioli and spread that on a piece of toast,
right,
and float that in the bouillabaisse.
Oh,
and
okay.
This place didn't have that. And so I just simply said, I really missed the garlic aioli and, the crouton. And basically, if you know that that's what it's supposed to be, then you know that you're not going to get one. If you don't know what it's that you should get one, you know that you're not going to get one.
Sure.
So my feeling was always is that I really wanted you to understand what it was like to eat at a place, because that's what you're going to be doing. If you go into a place expecting, I don't know, you go into a pizza place and expect them to do a really great Northern Italian risotto, you're going to be disappointed.
Oh, okay.
Whereas if you go to a place that advertises Italian risotto and you order, a risotto, it better be a good example of what a risotto is.
Yeah. Do you find that restaurants that have 100 things on the menu are you're taking a chance rather than 5 things on the menu or some? I mean, there's that elitist kind of thing that says, well, the restaurant only has this number of things. They're very good. Whereas if you've got, all these other things that the chef has to cook, he can't be good at all of it.
Well, it really varies. I mean, if you
Yeah.
go to a diner
Yeah.
and they have a menu with 100 things on it, they better know how to cook each of them. But then again, when I was working in restaurants, like liver and onions, which I happen to like.
Oh my
well,
God, I love
but,
liver and onions. Terrible for
but
my heart, I suppose, but
yeah, but
yeah.
it would come in frozen, and so you would basically put it on a flat top, put a little water on it, cover it over, and let it uncook. Let it steam to defrost.
Right.
But places that had either a really tiny menu, I found I didn't like that, because if you don't like the 5 things they're offering, what do you do?
Oh.
If you go to a
Yeah.
place that has if you go to a place that sells, for example, liver and onions, and they
Right.
advertise fresh liver and onions,
Right.
my thinking is, how many of those are they going to sell?
Yes.
If they're not selling a lot, if you're ordering something really esoteric on the menu, and they're not like sweetbreads, and they're not selling them, then you're going to get old or frozen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's always like a trick. I have a friend who thinks that you should always order the special of the day because that's what the chef wants to highlight. My thinking is often, and you read Anthony Bourdain, a lot of times the special of the day is what the chef wants to unload. So
Of course. Of
which
course.
is not to say it's bad. It's just that you want to understand that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll order 3 appetizers because the appetizers are more interesting than the entrees.
Yeah.
And it's about the same. And you just say, bring them, when they're done, just bring them. Don't, which is kind of nice anyway.
Yeah. When you think about going out to dinner, which avenue do you go in? Do you go into American? I mean, for you, not as a reviewer, but what is your favorite kind of restaurant to eat out there?
Well, I really like Italian because, but again, the Italian places, you have the Sicilian red sauce places, which are the old school Italian.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go to those, I usually get, if I can, I get veal parm or chicken parm or eggplant parm
Right.
in an oval dish that's been fried and baked because I know they're going to do it well.
Yeah.
Go to like a northern Italian place, then okay, they should be able to do risotto. They should be able to do ossobuco. They should be able to do like a marsala because those are the dishes.
Well, how would the attendee, how would us diners know this ahead of time? And can you give us, for instance, for us in the Western Massachusetts area, is there some place that you feel you can get a good veal parmesan here, or let's talk about northern and southern? Where are you going to go for that in our neck of the woods?
Well, there's a place, Benapolis in West Springfield.
I just was there like a month and a half ago. Yeah.
And it's pricey, but I think it's worth it. I mean, I've eaten there only like 3 or 4 times, and each time I've had something there that I really, really liked. And I mean that's really the key. I mean, if you're going to a place like Benapoli, what I would do is go online, look at the menu, sort of get a sense of what it is you want,
right,
and then go look up chicken marsala, for example, or veal marsala.
Right.
Online and get a sense of a couple of different recipes because, veal marsala or chicken marsala should be a cutlet that's fried, should have mushrooms, should have marsala wine. And I've been places where they added the wine at the end and didn't cook out the alcohol. So it tastes bad. It's not good. I went to places where they added the marsala at the beginning and it cooked out and you can't taste it.
Sure.
So, it's really a question. And then you look at the reviews and you filter the reviews because,
You
there's always
filter the
somebody-
reviews because the
there's always
restaurants.
somebody who hates everything.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
When I worked for IBM, everybody at IBM could say no, because if you said no, it meant you were smart. If you said yes, you were vulnerable. Because if it didn't turn out well, then you're at fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a group of reviewers who hates everything.
Yeah.
And you just sort of discount them, or you sort of say what they hate about it. Like if they hated, I went out with one couple, and the guy did not want to give the server a tip because she did not serve from the left.
Oh, for God's sakes.
And it's like,
that's just a cheap person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, so, you have to sort of filter, you have to sort of decide yourself. And there are places, again, I don't know if I want to give names, but there are places that do certain dishes really well. In Northampton, there's a couple of old school red sauce places.
Well, you could give them out. We're fine with that. We love recommendations. Where do you get a good red? Okay, so.
Oh God! And now I'm. Trying to
I
remember
put you
the
on
name.
the spot there. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's on Pleasant Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know what.
They're very old school, and if you go there, you order old school.
Yeah.
You don't want to necessarily order like involved nouveau dishes or something with foam, for example, because they put it on the menu because people want it, but I would personally order something more old school.
Yeah. We had a wonderful meal at Paisano's. We just rode across it out for a drive.
Really?
In East Hampton.
Where is Paisano's?
East Hampton. It's right on Route 10 in East Hampton.
Okay.
It's Greek style Italian. It's not, traditional Sicilian Italian.
Yeah.
It's kind of the Greek twist on Italian, but we had a great time.
What about burgers?
Well, burgers, the two places that I go for burgers are either Five Guys, which I think has great burgers.
Interesting. Yeah.
And then in Northampton, local burgers and burgers and fries.
Yeah.
They used
Local
to be called
burgers are great.
Burger, but they got told that there was somebody else who had that name. They couldn't use it.
Oh.
So now they've used Local Burger and Fries, although everybody calls them Local Burger.
Wow.
They do really good burgers too.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, I've had I've been lately ordering the Wagyu burger sliders at the Tribeca right here in Westfield. You must come down, Don, and we'll go there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you see something like Wagyu or oh my God, this
Kobe beef or something.
or Chilean bass. Yeah. Is that right? Chilean bass? There's no such thing as Chilean
bass. Well, Chilean sea bass is just the new name for a fish that has a name that is really terrible and that nobody wants to eat because the original name was terrible.
Oh God!
It's like canola oil. It's made from rapeseed. Nobody wants to order rapeseed oil, but they'll order canola oil.
Wow, interesting. Hey, Peter, how much time do we have left? I just want to make sure and be conscious of that.
About 3 minutes.
About 3 minutes. Oh my gosh! Okay. So let's wrap all this up in a fine bow. You got to come back and talk to us again. Both of you, of course. Marianne Scogliamilio from Straw Dog Writers Guild. DonLesser.com is where you read all about Don Lesser, and you can read his latest book, Crystal Springs, if you come Thursday night to Westfield downtown, the wonderful Wow Center, 105 Elm Street in downtown Westfield. We'd love to see you. Don, is there anything else that you need for us to do in order to tell everyone that, I need to say that Marianne gives an imprimatur. Her imprimatur, you give 4 or 5 stars out of 5 for this great guy's book?
Of course.
Of course.
At least 5.
Yeah. You've had an interesting life, my friend, and Don, I can't wait. We could talk forever about. We could have you come back and talk tech and computers, right? As well.
Yeah. Well, again, with tech, I mean, I was involved in PCs before the IBM PC. So I used to know a lot about PCs. Now I know a lot about a little.
Well, a lot about a little is a lot more than I know, so that would be good. Hey, we're going to end the show with the song from the 413s that are playing this Friday night for Downtown Live. It's a great band. This is an interesting thing because the name of the show or the song is Summer Days, and they play rock. But this is really, it's mainstream pop in a way, and it sounds like a bossa nova that I might have played long ago. But Don Lesser and Marianne Scagliamilio, we love you. I'll talk to you soon. Everybody, I'll see you next time. Thank you, Don. I'll see you Thursday night.
Yes, thanks so much for having me.
Ah, my pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye, Marianne. Bye, you guys.
Summer solstice to July's first kiss, fireworks were made for you.